Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. Head-to-head UFC and MMA records. Max Holloway is gearing up for a high-stakes showdown as he prepares to face Dustin Poirier in the main event of UFC 318, set to unfold at the Smoothie King Center this weekend. This bout isn't just another fight on the card. It carries the weight of legacy, redemption, and farewell. For Poirier, it marks the final chapter of a storied career in the UFC, a final walk to the octagon before he lays his gloves down for good. Meanwhile, for Holloway, this fight is about defending the symbolic BMF title, and perhaps more importantly, settling an old score that has lingered for years. Dustin Poirier heads into this pivotal bout following a tough loss via submission to Islam Makhachev. That fight left many questioning whether the fire still burned in Poirier's heart. Yet he quickly reaffirmed his desire to go out on his terms against a familiar foe. On the other side, Max Holloway comes into the cage following a knockout defeat at the hands of Ilia Topuria. Both fighters, though bruised from their most recent outings, remain elite competitors who have consistently demonstrated resilience, skill, and a warrior's mentality throughout their UFC journeys. The upcoming fight between Holloway and Poirier is more than just a clash of the BMF belt. It's a trilogy bout layered with history, pride, and mutual respect. They've met twice before, and on both occasions, it was Poirier who emerged victorious. Their first encounter dates back to UFC 143 in 2012, when the two young prospects met on the preliminary card. At the time, both were still carving out their places in the sport. Poirier wasted no time making a statement, securing a first-round submission win that hinted at the potential he would later fulfill. Their second meeting came 7 years later at UFC 236, and by then, both had matured into seasoned fighters with substantial followings. The stakes were higher, the lights brighter, and the implications far greater. That night, the octagon witnessed a war of attrition. 25 minutes of striking excellence, grit, and heart. Poirier walked away with a unanimous decision victory in the interim lightweight championship, solidifying his place among the UFC's elite. Holloway, who had moved up in weight to take the fight, showed tremendous durability but ultimately fell short on the judges' scorecards. Now, 6 years since their last meeting, they are set to collide once more. Time has changed both men. Poirier, the battle-tested veteran with a penchant for finishing fights, stands at the twilight of his career, determined to ride off into the sunset as the BMF champion. Holloway, still in his prime and hungry for redemption, sees this as a chance to not only defend his belt, but also rewrite history by finally getting the better of Poirier. Holloway's journey through the UFC has been nothing short of extraordinary. He holds a UFC record of 22 wins and 8 losses, and an overall MMA record of 26-8. His path began in the local Hawaiian MMA circuit, where he compiled a 4-0 record before getting the call to join the UFC. Since then, he's faced some of the toughest names in the sport: Jose Aldo, Anthony Pettis, Brian Ortega, and Alexander Volkanovski, to name a few. Known for his relentless pace, pinpoint striking, and iron chin, Holloway has earned his place as one of the most entertaining and respected fighters in the game. Throughout his career, Holloway has embodied the spirit of a true warrior. He held the UFC Featherweight Championship and defended it multiple times, creating memorable moments in the process. His fight IQ, coupled with his ability to outlast and outstrike his opponents, has made him a fan favorite. Even in defeat, Holloway has often elevated his opponents, pushing them to their limits and delivering fights that are etched in the memories of MMA fans. Poirier's career has followed a similar trajectory, filled with highs and lows, but always marked by perseverance and class. From his early days in the WEC to becoming a UFC mainstay, he's crafted a legacy defined by grit, resilience, and philanthropy outside the cage. With notable victories over Conor McGregor, Justin Gaethje, Eddie Alvarez, and Dan Hooker, Poirier's resume is a testament to his elite status in the lightweight division. While the outcome of this fight won't alter the historical record between the two men, Poirier currently leads a rivalry 2-0. It could significantly reshape their individual legacies. For Poirier, a win would serve as a perfect send-off, a crowning moment that encapsulates a career of blood, sweat, and sacrifice. For Holloway, it's a chance to finally conquer an opponent who has eluded him and to solidify his reign as the BMF champion in dramatic fashion. The BMF title, while not an official divisional championship, carries its own aura. Introduced as a way to recognize the grittiest, most fearless fighters in the UFC, it has become a symbol of respect among fans and fighters alike. Holloway earned the belt with a spectacular performance against Justin Gaethje, showcasing not only his striking prowess, but also his ability to take punishment and keep pressing forward. His willingness to engage in wars and entertain the crowd makes him a fitting holder of a title. However, Poirier, with his own history of thrilling battles, believes he is the rightful heir to that moniker as he steps into the octagon one last time. The lead up to UFC 318 has been filled with emotion, reflection, and anticipation. Poirier has spoken candidly about retirement, expressing contentment with what he has accomplished and gratitude for the opportunities the sport has provided him. Yet, there's still a sense that he wants to end things on his terms, with one final statement, one last triumph against a worthy adversary. Holloway, ever the competitor, remains focused on the task at hand. His recent setback against Poirier may have dented his momentum, but not his confidence or desire to continue competing at the highest level. This third and final installment between Holloway and Poirier carries with it an almost cinematic sense of closure. Two warriors who began their UFC journeys around the same time, who rose to the ranks by defeating top contenders and putting on unforgettable fights, now meet again in what could be the defining moment of their rivalry. The Smoothie King Center will undoubtedly be electric, as fans gather to witness not just a fight, but the culmination of two incredible careers intersecting once more. For Max Holloway, it's a shot at redemption, an opportunity to prove that he has evolved since their last meeting and that he can overcome the one opponent who has consistently had his number. For Dustin Poirier, it's about legacy and closure, a final battle that can encapsulate everything he stands for as a fighter: heart, toughness, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. There are no guarantees in the octagon, and that's what makes this sport so compelling. One punch can change everything. One mistake can lead to defeat. But for fans, what's guaranteed is a night of high-level competition, passion, and respect. Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier are fighters who leave it all in the cage, and come UFC 318, they will do it one last time, together in battle for legacy. It's about legacy and closure, a final battle that can encapsulate everything he stands for as a fighter: heart, toughness, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. There are no guarantees in the octagon, and that's what makes this sport so compelling. One punch can change everything. One mistake can lead to defeat. But for fans, what's guaranteed is a night of high-level competition, passion, and respect. Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier are fighters who leave it all in the cage, and come UFC 318, they will do it one last time, together in battle for legacy.